Everyone's chasing the secret to living longer, from biohacks and supplements to longevity labs. But Ayurveda has quietly been teaching us how to age gracefully for over 5,000 years. Starting with one powerful truth: your gut is the gateway to your health and your years. Today, we're unlocking the timeless secrets, and I promise this conversation will change how you think about food, digestion, and even aging itself. This is Anshu Bahanda from Wellness Curated. Welcome back to the Wellness Algorithm, where science meets self-care and where we go deeper than the latest wellness trends to uncover what really works. In 2025, longevity has been the hottest topic on the planet. I went to a summit in LA and all people talked about was longevity. From Silicon Valley biohacks to blue zone diets, everyone's searching for ways to live longer, to live healthier and live better. But Ayurveda, India's ancient system of medicine, has been guiding us for thousands of years on how to not just add years to your life, but how to add life to your years. And at the heart of it all, gut health. Ayurveda teaches us that how we digest, absorb, and balance food, emotions, and even daily rhythms determines how gracefully we age. To help us decode all this, I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. Uppoor. He's an Ayurvedic doctor based in Goa and has dedicated his career to guiding people to balance vitality and graceful aging using timeless Ayurvedic wisdom. I do want to say before we start that since we do not charge you for this, I'd be really grateful if you could subscribe to this page and if you could leave a comment at the end of this chat. Thank you. That will enable us to get you better speakers and deeper conversations. Do that right now. Thank you. So I just came off a Panchkarma with Dr. Uppoor, and I'm delighted and honored that he's here with us today to do this podcast. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me, Anshuji.
You're welcome. Now, I want you to explain to people two things before we jump into specific questions about gut and longevity. I want you to explain to people what is good health in Ayurveda and what are the diagnostic tools that you use.
Yes, it's an amazing question to begin with. First of all, everybody should understand what is good health. What is health? What is the definition of health before thinking about the later questions which can be on longevity, herbs, etc., gut health, etc. But the first most important thing is what is good health. So many definitions of good health. Oh, the body should be like this, you should look this way, that way. But finally, the World Health Organization, WHO, has approved one definition of good health, which is from ancient Ayurveda textbooks. So they thought this is the best definition of what is good health.
Right.
And I would want to quote to your audience that so that they know what exactly means good health. This quote from Ayurveda is really amazing. The quote goes like this: Sama dosha, sama agni, sama dhatu, malakriya. So this is the first line. The second line goes: Prasanna atmendriya manaha swastyam ityabhidiyate. So I know most 99% didn't understand anything, so I'll break it for you. Sama dosha. The word sama means balance. Sama means balance. So you're getting three samas in this first quote: sama dosha, sama dhatu, sama agni, malkriya. Now sama means balance, you understood. Now dosha. What is dosha? So a few of audience, I think 50-60% of the audience would be aware of these terms. They would have read here or there the basic terms. Vata, Pitta and Kapha. These are the doshas in the body. So briefly, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, which is air and space, is equal to Vata. Fire and water is Pitta. Earth and water in your body is Kapha. So the three doshas, Vata, Pitta and Kapha, are the chief micro elements that govern your body. If they are in balance, it is good health. If they are imbalance, the person is going to get a disease. So sama dosha, your Vata, Pitta and Kapha should be in sama, which means it should be in balance.
Balance.
The second word was samadhatu. Sama means balance, you know that already. Now dhatu. What are dhatus? Dhatu is a Sanskrit term for 7 tissues in your body.
Okay.
Your body, a human body, is made up of 7 tissues. What are the 7 tissues? Again, quick 7 Sanskrit names and their translations. Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Meda, Asthi, Astimajja and Shukra. These are the 7 tissues.
Okay.
Now, again, what is this? Fastly, he told 7 different names. What are these? Rasa, your lymphatic system. Rakta, your circulation, blood circulation. Mamsa, your muscle system, muscular system. Asti, your skeletal system, your bones. Asti Majja, your bone marrow. We forgot Meda in between, which is your fat tissue. And the last one is your Shukra. Shukra is the semen in men and the menstrual fluid in the woman.
Okay.
These are the 7 dhatus. They also need to be in sama, the balance. You should have a good circulation. You should have fair amount of fat tissue in the body, good muscle, good bones, good bone marrow, and a good testosterone. So sama dhatu was the second word. Samadosha, sama dhatu. Sama Agni. This is the most important. What is Agni? Agni, literal Sanskrit translation means fire.
Fire. Yeah.
Here the Agni in this context is your digestive fire. Sama Agni, a good balanced digestive fire is most important. So Sama Dosha, Sama Dhatu, Sama Agni. Mal Kriya. Mal means excretions of the body. What are there are 3 excretions. The urine, the fecal matter and the sweat. These 3 also must be well in balance. So now the first line says, okay, Sama Dosha, Sama Dhatu, Sama Agni and Sama Mal Kriya. All these are good. Okay, now wow, all these are good. You're having good health? No. The second line says, Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha. What is this? What is the meaning of Prasanna? Happy. Prasanna Atma, happy soul.
Yeah.
Prasanna Atma, Prasanna Indriya, happy
Senses,
organs.
yeah.
So you should have good senses, you should see good, you should talk good, you should hear good, you should touch good. The sense organs must be Prasanna. Prasanna Atma, Prasanna Indriya, Prasanna Manaha, peace of mind, happy mind. Swasthyam ityabhidiyate. Swasthya means good health. Swasthyam ityabhidiyate means that is the definition of good health.
Right.
So it is not about having doshas in balance. It is not just about having dhatus in balance. It is not just having a good excretion in the body. It's also about having happy soul, happy mind and happy senses. Only then you can call yourself 100% healthy. The second line is missing in many people these days. They have a good six-pack body. They are active. They go to the gym. They eat well. But the mind is not at peace,
Absolutely.
which is most important. So this is the definition of good health.
Absolutely. And that's what I think we're all seeking is peace of mind.
Peace of mind, stress-free life,
Yeah.
happiness. If that is not conquered, so many diseases, which we'll discuss as the podcast progresses, so many diseases set in the body.
Okay. Thank you for that. I also want to ask you about the diagnostic tools, just because they're so different from the Western tools.
So when we talk about the diagnostics tools, I'd like to refer some Sanskrit words here. Why am I referring Sanskrit words here and there? That gives the authenticity of the information. So now the books are there. So the authenticity of these books, we are quoting from those books so that it's not just coming from my pocket. So the book uses a fantastic terminology called Dasha Vidha Pariksha. Dasha means 10, Vidha means types, Pariksha means examination. The 10 types of examinations. So these are the Ayurvedic tools. It all begins with the gate, like say a wise Ayurvedic doctor has to, when the patient is walking into your room, see his gait, you can find a limp, you can find a posture, you can find half known. Then you're by touch, you can feel, by looking at his legs, you can feel. So there are 10 types of Ayurveda examination. The most popular Not only popular, in my clinical experience, I find the best tools are two. One is the Nadi Pariksha. Nadi, another Sanskrit word. Nadi means pulse. Pariksha means examination.
Yes.
The pulse diagnosis, pulse examination. So when you visit an Ayurveda doctor, he would touch your pulse like this. He would touch your pulse and he would examine your nadi. He would examine your pulse. Here he's not counting the number. He's not counting 60 per minute, 100 per minute. No. He's looking at your balance and rhythm of vata, pitta and kapha in your body in alignment with the universe.
Okay.
How balanced your macro elements are. The macro elements are space, air, fire, water, earth. This subdivide into vata, pitta and kapha. How the vata, pitta, kapha are aligned in your body, that's what he's examining when he's doing the nadi pariksha. So don't expect him to count how much is my beat, is it 60 per minute? No, I'm not counting that. After that, another super examination, super tool is your jihva pariksha. Jihva means
the tongue.
Pariksha means examination. I find most of the Ayurveda doctors are practicing the Nadi Pariksha, but I think they are lagging behind a little less on Jihva Pariksha, the tongue analysis. Tongue is an index of your digestive system. And the digestive system is everything. So that is what you're looking in on the tongue. And people who have half-baked knowledge, who don't know about it and still want to comment, how can he see the tongue and it's bullshit, it's rubbish. But what the tongue is indicating is it's a mirror of your digestive system. And you are as good as your digestive system. So that's what the tongue examination is all about. It shows volumes. It can read your liver. It can read your pancreas. It can read your kidneys once you master that art. So
Wonderful.
These are the two excellent Ayurvedic tools which I use. And I definitely don't mind. Now the blood tests. These are technologies available. It's nobody's property. It doesn't belong to allopathy. It doesn't belong to Ayurveda. These are the tools available. I always most welcome. I look at the blood work. I look at the other tests. I correlate my diagnosis with it. So why not?
Right. So, but it's not necessary. When someone comes to you, you're saying it's not necessary to come with medical reports.
I'm a highly qualified and experienced Ayurvedic doctor. My job would never be to criticize the other science. Allopathy is amazing. It's excellent, especially when it comes to the diagnosing tools.
Right.
It's a technology. As I said, it doesn't belong to allopathy. It neither belongs to Ayurveda. It's a technology.
Yes.
Most welcome. One has to make use of those tools and cross-check your diagnosis, then finally conclude and tell the patient.
Okay. So now I'm going to go back to something that you said during, when you were talking about the tongue. You said digestion is everything in Ayurveda. So in Ayurveda, digestion is very important for longevity as well. So will you explain that to us? Why? Why is it considered to be the base of everything, especially for longevity?
Exactly. So digestion, or the Agni we talked about, the digestive fire, is everything in the body. Like you are as good as your digestion. You just are as good as your digestion. So keep it intact. Keep a good digestion. Now I'm using a Sanskrit word. Do not allow ama to form in your digestive system.
Right.
Immediately your next question should be, what is ama? The audience can be national, international. It's not even a Hindi word. What is ama?
Yes.
Ama is a metabolic toxin that builds up in your body when your digestive system goes weak, and this metabolic toxin is the root cause of all diseases.
So when you do your panchkarma, I know that the first thing you do is remove ama.
Yes,
right?
The nice word for that is ama pachan.
Okay.
Ama pachan. Pachan means to digest the metabolic toxin called as ama. Let me take one more minute. So this ama, the metabolic toxin, if ignored, if neglected, goes and takes its seat in different parts of the body and causes different diseases. Of course, different diseases will reduce your longevity. So now, ama sits in your joints, for example. It's called amavata, rheumatoid arthritis. So whatever diseases in the body, the root cause of the diseases is ama. Therefore, digestive system or Agni, which controls this ama, is everything.
So, how would we explain it to a global audience, AMA? Is there an English word for it or there isn't?
The rough translation is metabolic toxin.
Okay.
So when I'm looking at the tongue, the first thing I'm looking is how scary is the ama in your digestive system.
Right.
The worst scenario of ama in the digestive system is the worst case scenario of the health. Okay. So that, and apart from that, there's so many other indicators on the tongue. So to understand how a ama will look like in the digestive system, it looks like a sticky, rotten cheese. That's the word I would want to use for ama.
Okay.
In the digestive system is a white, sticky, rotten, smelly cheese. One who takes the ama to different parts of the body, vata.
Right.
Air, vata, carries this ama, say it puts it in your weak link, say your joints, arthritis. So say it takes it and puts it in on your liver, sheath of fat on your liver, which makes it fatty liver, cholesterol, triglycerides.
So ama is a physical thing, because you're saying it's like rotten cheese.
Yeah.
It's actually a physical thing that
and
forms.
Yes, it takes seat in your amashay. Amashay means your stomach. So it accumulates on the sides of the stomach. I'm not talking about gut. Stomach is different, gut is different.
Right.
Always remember, the body is self-excusing.
Right.
It keeps, she'll take out this ama one day. Oh, she will eat better. Oh, she will exercise. But you're not doing it. Now the body gets into an autoimmune mode. It starts asking questions. Where should I put this ama? So it carries it and puts it in weak link of your body, which can be any particular organ.
Okay. You know, when people talk about anti-aging in the Western sense, how does that correlate to something like Ayurveda?
So there are two terminologies in Ayurveda for the so-called anti-aging.
Right.
One is rasayana and another word is vajikarana.
Okay.
So rasayana. What is the rasayana? Generally Indian Hindi audience, the word rasayan for them means chemical. Not at all here. Mm-hmm. Rasayana here means rejuvenators. Ayurveda has boasted about different types of rejuvenators for anti-aging, longevity, good health.
Right.
And second is Vajikaran. Vaji, the Sanskrit meaning of Vaji means horse. So Vajikaran means to get the horsepower, to get the vigor, to get the stamina like a horse. That is Vajikaran. So Rasayana and Vajikarana are two Ayurvedic terms with respect to anti-aging. Even, for example, all the audience, 90%, 99% of the audience would be familiar with something with word called Chavanprash. Chavanprash is prepared by a muni, by a sage, Maharshi, sage, called Chavan. The name of the sage is Chavan.
Yeah.
The story goes like he wants to become young because he has a young wife.
Right.
So he starts preparing this and starts consuming it to become young and vital and longevity, whatever the word.
Right.
So that's how the Chavanprash comes.
So that's how the Chavan. And now all over the world they're saying that amla, which is gooseberry, they're saying it's the highest thing that exists with vitamin C. There's nothing higher in vitamin C. I don't know. Is that true?
Vitamin C is a small word for amla. Amla is a rejuvenator, which is 90% of the Chavanprash. It is anti-aging. It is everything. It's not just vitamin C.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Because that's what people talk about, is a lot about the gooseberry. Or,
the Indian gooseberry.
The Indian gooseberry, yeah. Interesting. Yes. So, sorry.
So these are the two words, Rasayan and Vajikaran. So one has to classify. And Vajikaran means the amount of testosterone, the amount of stamina, the amount of ojas is the word. Ojas means your vitality.
Right.
One has to retain the vitality for long in order to have longevity. What is vitality? Is it about sexual appetite or something? Not at all. It is much more than that. A girl looks as good as her estrogen, progesterone. That's why teenage girls, young girls look amazing because they have good estrogen, progesterone. Young boys have good muscle and all that because they have good testosterone. So the more and more you retain your vitality, the root chakra, the more and more you have longevity. As simple as that.
So you're relating the chakras to longevity here.
Not really. I'm relating vitality to longevity.
Okay. Okay. And in terms of what the comment you made that you are what you digest, right? How would you relate that to longevity?
I think I've already answered this question, because the more you digest your food properly, no ama formation, automatically no disease.
Okay.
No disease is equal to longevity.
So, what I'm understanding from you and from what we did in the last 2 weeks is that the Western sense of longevity is different from the Ayurvedic sense. The Western sense of longevity is almost like don't age, or let's try and stop the aging, or let's try and reverse the aging. While the Ayurvedic sense of longevity seems to be let's age gracefully. Am I right?
If the Western way of longevity is what you said, it is impossible, because it is the thumb rule of the very nature that an old leaf, the dried leaf, has to fall in order for the fresh leaf to come. So don't even expect to be here forever. Nobody in this planet except money making can say longevity, I can keep you here forever. Maybe these famous Ayurvedic books, the second one there, Charak Samhita, is written by a famous sage called Charak.
Right.
Is he present in this world now? No. But these people go exit the world gracefully. Thumb rule of the world is you are not permanent here.
Yeah.
You have to. But your job is, then somebody asked me one day, oh, if you have to anyway go, then I'll eat, drink and do everything. No. The thing is, you be sick and live for 100 years, no point.
No, what's the point of being bedridden?
Bedridden for 90 years, 100 years, no point.
So I'm going to send you a link. There's a gentleman in the US called Brian Johnson, and his motto is don't die. So he's trying to reverse his age. He's about in his 50s, and he spends about a fortune every year in trying to reverse his age. And his biological age, he says, is, with all these tests, is about 20 years or something like that. And he's trying to use himself as a human experiment to show the world that you can live forever.
I don't know about this gentleman. Good for him. He's researching, he's spending a fortune and everything. But I believe one thing the Mother Nature will never reveal to you is death. It keeps death in its control. It will not give you how much ever fortune you spend on it. I don't know this gentleman, but this is the truth. Hope he succeeds.
Wow. Okay. I found it fascinating. I heard a talk with him at this longevity summit I went to. I thought it was fascinating. But I want to ask you another thing. So we're talking about trying to be as healthy as possible while we're alive, right? What signs should people look for when they feel like, okay, now this is affecting my digestion, so this could potentially affect my longevity? What signs and what age do you think people start seeing those signs?
So the first part of the question is what are the things? So let me talk about the 3 pillars of longevity, again from those lovely textbooks. The 3 pillars of longevity, like stamba means pillar. What are the 3 pillars of longevity? The name in the book is Trayo Upastamba. Traya means 3 pillars of longevity. Very interesting for your audience, this. 3 words they have used. Ahar, Sanskrit word ahar. Ahar means the food you eat. Number 1 for longevity. Second one, nidra, the amount of sleep you do. Without nidra, nothing is. You have whatever, but you don't have good sleep, you don't have anything. Then the third one is abrahmacharya, which means non-celibacy. So now these are the 3 pillars of longevity. Now the first one, ahar, fine, you understood. Nidra, you understood. When I told abrahmacharya, non-celibacy, you had an exclamation on your face.
Yeah, no, because I was thinking of all the sages and all the monks.
It is not brahmacharya, by the way. It's abrahmacharya, non-celibacy.
Yeah, that's why I was confused, because
if everyone becomes a sage, how is the progeny, how is the next generation going to come? So what Abrahmacharya is how to judiciously, wisely use your ojas for progeny. That is Abrahmacharya. So, for example, to be brief here, the book says too much of sexual activity in summers will deplete your ojas.
Okay.
Like how much quantum of sexual activity has to happen in rainy season, how much quantum of sexual activity has to happen in winters. All
Right.
these is explained in the books. What are the herbs to take to retain your ojas? All these are explained in the book, so that you are practicing a specific type of celibacy which is non-celibacy, a brahmacharya. Only then, otherwise now I may have an 80 or 90 years, and if there is no progeny, where to pass this knowledge of Ayurveda? If not my kid, any other kid, how to? So celibacy, everyone becomes a sage, it's going to be very difficult. The humankind is going to end here.
Right.
So it is ahar, nidra and abrahmacharya, so that the vitality is still retained, the sexual activity still happens, the pleasure from the sexual activity still remains intact.
So you're talking about sort of working with nature here, right? Working with the rhythms of nature.
Yes.
And that's obviously, like you're saying, very important for longevity.
Very, as per Ayurveda,
Yeah.
there may be different opinions. For example, allopathy, the modern science, considers semen is like saliva. You split it, new saliva generates. Nothing. It can be. The point of view, I don't want to tell they are wrong. I'm right. I'm quoting what my book says and I follow it.
So what about people like us who travel so much? So sleep gets disrupted. Food, gets disrupted when you're traveling. You're eating different foods from different parts of the world. How do we get our lives into balance?
Yeah. So I think the major challenge, because I treat all those type of people who travel a lot, different time zones. Even yesterday I had a consultation with a guy who is always in different time zones, and as of today doesn't sleep at all. He needs not even 35-40, needs big amount of sleeping pills to sleep. So apart from Ayurveda textbooks, forget the Ayurveda, in Hindu thing, in Brahmins thing who practice these religious things in Brahminism, they have to, their culture, their books tell them that if you travel overseas, if you Sapta Samundar, 7 oceans,
7 seas,
if you cross the 7 seas, you need to come back and purify yourself through some rituals. Maybe it is because of that, to avoid you or dissuade you from traveling so much.
Right.
Nowadays, but I'm not telling you you should not travel and all that. It's one part of. See, these are different school of thoughts. Who is right? Who is wrong? It's for the audience to judge. It's their body, their wish. Follow, don't follow. We are telling what the Brahmin thinks. There is a mutt called Krishna Mutt in Udupi. The pontiff there, if he travels overseas, he need to come purify, otherwise not allowed inside the temple. I think this is a major challenge people are facing. One, ahar. Now, ahar has become food. So easily available. I think when my grandmother's time, when there was a financial constraint, you just cook at home, eat only whatever that kanji and all
you'd
that.
eat simple homemade
They were
food.
so healthy.
Yeah.
Now there is an availability. You can buy a McDonald's,
Yeah.
you can buy a Domino's pizza. Then you are eating all that stuff because you can afford it. So I think sometimes too much wealth is also a spoiler.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This, I think, even with the sleep, one has to follow a rhythm. Otherwise, without sleep, let me tell you, there is nothing. Your body has to rejuvenate. It has to revitalize. That can happen only with good 7 hours of sound sleep.
Okay, so on that, that's a very, very, very important point you've just made. Because today, I think one of the biggest issues in the world is sleep.
Yeah.
So
as a doctor, I agree to this.
How can Ayurveda help people with sleep so it'll help them with their longevity and vitality?
Here again, I have also already told in this podcast that no science is bad. No science is to be hated. Ayurveda is super and allopathy is bad. There is no bigger fool than me. So there is a huge research happened in allopathy science. There is a fantastic research. So the Ayurvedic people did what they could 400 years BC. Amazing job. And now this generation people taking it forward, fantastic. So they have analyzed how important is tryptophan for sleep. So
Right.
tryptophan is not produced by the body, it's present again in certain types of food.
Right.
Now how nidra and ahar have become interconnected.
Right. Right.
So tryptophan is present in certain types of food. Say for example, cheese at night, so bad. But mozzarella cheese has the biggest amount of tryptophan.
Ah.
Fish has fantastic tryptophan. So eat some food in the night which
Which
has
has
got
tryptophan in it. Okay.
that will really aid you to sleep much better. Now, in Ayurvedic context, back to Ayurvedic context, they have talked about having half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder in a glass of hot water. In fact, they talked about milk. Nowadays, milk has become a bad word, but yeah, I don't believe in it. But a half a teaspoon of nutmeg powder in a glass of hot milk bedtime, you'll sleep like a baby.
Or hot water, if
Because
people don't
of
have
milk,
Or
no, doctor, I don't have milk, then go for
plant-based milk.
plant-based milk.
So nutmeg.
Hope
Okay.
Charak, Charak is the author of the book. Hope Charak knew there existed some plant-based milk. He didn't know that.
The other thing that you talked about for longevity is ahar, which is food, right? So can you give people an idea about, because not everyone has access to Ayurvedic doctors, people are going to be listening to this podcast all over the world. Can you give them an idea what foods, how should they go about food for longevity?
First thing you need to understand with food is, from again Charak Samhita, he has quoted a fantastic word which translates as nothing is non-medicinal. So the plant you see there, if it is original, I don't know, I should ask her. But if it is, it has some medicinal value.
Right.
So nothing in this world is non-medicinal. So every food, wheat is bad, gluten is bad. No. There are body types for whom wheat is most essential. There are certain body types who should consume milk provided the quality of the milk is good. There are people who needs to have millets. So you must understand what is your body constitution. Know your diet, what you can eat based on your body constitution. Then decide your ahar. Note, we are 3-4 people sitting here. None of us have a similar diet. For example, somebody, for them gluten seems to be most important. For somebody, millets are good, gluten is bad. So know what is good for you. And of course, the processed stuff, forget, bad for everybody. Now, gluten means not maida. I'm talking about whole wheat. I'm not talking about refined flour. I'm talking about whole wheat. There are body constitutions for whom whole wheat is the most important. So they need to know their body constitution and eat as per their body constitution.
And for people who don't have access to knowing their body constitution, you're saying just try and figure out what works for you, what doesn't?
No. Nowadays, the world has become small.
Right.
With this social media, online, and so many things. So always, I think now, if you're talking about today's scenario, it's very easy to access an Ayurveda doctor online. There are so many video calls, Zoom calls happening. So I think it's better to access to an Ayurveda doctor and know your body constitution and eat as per your body constitution.
Wonderful. And also, I'd had a lot of blood tests done, kinesiology tests done on what doesn't suit me. And it was broadly in line with what you told me based on my body constitution.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, so there's, even from different points of view, we've converged at the same things to avoid.
Yeah. It also matched very interestingly to my concepts, to Ayurveda concepts. Really matched. So I think audience can also look at that book, Eat as per your blood group.
And are there any foods that, or even tonics, like we were talking about Chyawanprash, anything that you would recommend to people, which everyone can have, which you would say is very good for you? Have this first thing in the morning, have this last thing at night. Like a lot of people have ghee, mustard seeds. Is there anything you can recommend to people who, without checking, they can just have that and it'll be good?
I will give your audience 2 fantastic, simple, very effective secrets. But the secret means no rare Himalayan herb that's just in your kitchen, but you should know how to use it for longevity. The number 1 is fenugreek seeds.
Okay.
Indian audience, methi dana.
Methi dana, yes.
So the methi seeds, you take them
Yeah.
at night, count them as per your age. Say for example, if you're 50, count 50 methi seeds. Soak them in a bowl of boiling hot water. Morning, drink that water and chew and eat those seeds. Superb remedy for longevity. Number 2, people know again this herb Triphala, but they know Triphala as a herb for bowel movements, constipation. Triphala is much, much bigger than that, but there is a specific way to make this Triphala for longevity. It's amazing. Consume Triphala every day. Your sense organs, your skin, your hair, your nails, your collagen, you name it, remains young. So today's 2 tips here are methi seeds and Triphala.
Okay. And also, in terms of giving people tips, are there any rituals that you would recommend that, I mean, it could be something as simple as just before you eat, just close your eyes for 2 minutes, do a prayer or do focus on mindfulness, anything. Is there any rituals that you would recommend? Wake up in the morning and do 5 minutes of something that grounds you. In Ayurveda, is that for longevity?
So I'm not a spiritual expert, so I would not talk on meditation or pray the food before you eat, because my books never talked about that. So let me tell you 3 tips here, 2 for longevity and 3 for the question you asked.
Okay.
The rituals, the daily things, which are scientific and from the book. Number 1, chew your food very, very well. Chew your food 32 times. Number 2, don't drink water with your food. Stop drinking water 45 minutes before and start drinking water 45 minutes after. Second. And third, immediately after eating, stand up and walk for 100 steps. Shata padam. Shata means 100, padam means steps. Walk 100 steps soon after you finish eating.
So as soon as you finish. So you finish and you walk 100 steps.
And walk for 100 steps.
You didn't tell me this in my... Look, you saved this for the podcast.
The more and more you speak to me, you learn more and more. And today's 1 hour podcast with your audience, they know 1% of it.
That's true. That's so true. I mean, your knowledge is just huge.
I think it's the knowledge of Ayurveda, not mine.
So you're saying as soon as you finish your food, walk 100 steps.
Shatapadam 100.
Chew your food. Don't have water 45 minutes before or 45 minutes after.
Half the challenges with your digestive system are already taken care.
Okay. What about something like Vajrasan? A lot of people say that, does Ayurveda talk about Vajrasan at all? That immediately after you eat, when you sit on your haunches.
So the books of Ayurveda, which you see there, few of them, they do not talk anything anywhere about yoga. It's a complete different philosophy. It's a complete different branch. But I should say Ayurveda, yoga, all these are sister concerns, but they are not the same. So yoga is something written by a famous sage called Patanjali. And Patanjali Yoga Sutra is very famous.
Yes.
I think I'm not the right person to talk about yoga.
Okay. I just thought maybe because they're so related and they work so well with each other.
They are sisters.
I thought maybe there is...
in this podcast, I came up with a mind that I would say only those things which are from my books.
Okay. So anything else that you want to tell people before we start wrapping up about Ayurveda and longevity and, of course, the gut?
Yeah. So, again, longevity, I made it very clear about Ahar, Nidra and Abrahmacharya. The food, the sleep and the non-celibacy. Now, in Ahar, I would want to get them 3 more words. So, you said, if you don't have an access to an Ayurvedic doctor, how would you manage your food? So, for them, the chewing thing, then they don't need an Ayurveda doctor. Whatever you eat based on your country, eat, but chew your food very well. We talked about not drinking water, whichever country they can do that. They can walk 100 steps, they can do that. Now, 3 more I would give is, in that, it's a general, not for anybody who don't have access, but 3 Ayurvedic words here is Hita book. Book means eating. Mita book and Kshuta book. Hitabuk means eat as per your body constitution.
Okay.
Mitabuk, okay, it's as per your body constitution, but do not overeat. Eat in moderation.
Okay.
And third is Kshutabuk, eat only when you are hungry. It's not that it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon and you're eating. Eat only when you're hungry. So eat the food of your body constitution. The food of your body constitution you would know from your Ayurvedic doctor. Second, your Ayurvedic doctor has told you almonds are good for you and you ate 100 a day. Not good. Mitabuk, eat in moderation. Then Kshutabuk, eat only when you're hungry. These are the very, very fundamentals. One should get it right. The big diets later. First, chew the food well. Don't drink water with food. Eat in moderation. Get these right. Half your problems are solved. Sleep on time. Wake up on time. For Nidra. The second one was Nidra. Nidra is sleep. Most of the girls today sleep at 2 a.m. in the morning. And how can they expect their hormones to be in balance? And so many come hormonal disbalance. I have a cyst in my uterus. I have in my ovaries. I have that. I have this. PCOD. Endometriosis has become so common.
Yes.
I would suggest major part of this women issues, girls issues are related with the sleeping habits. And second, I would relate it with their lack of physical activeness. So
interesting.
Physically, one needs to be very active. In olden days, they would do all the household work. They could go to the well and pull up the water. They grind their masalas. I'm not asking these girls to do all that, but do something similar to burn and keep yourself fit.
Right.
So then most of this woman body needs a lot of physical activity.
Interesting, because they say at menopause the most important thing is weight training and all that. You're talking about pulling things from the well. They automatically would carry things. They would automatically use the weights.
Now and pound those masalas. You know how Indian women pound the masalas in olden days, like big, like they would crush those. If you're not doing all that, do something else similar.
I also want to ask you about some terms which are so popular at the moment in the whole world of longevity. Intermittent fasting, biohacking, supplements. People are taking supplements every day. Is it because our food is not providing us all the nutrition? Give me an Ayurvedic point of view for all these.
First question is, forget intermittent. I would pick up only half the word from there. Fasting. So intermittent is one of the many types of fastings available in the market. So fasting, I'll quote an Ayurvedic sentence here. Langhanam paramaushadham. Langhanam means fasting.
Right.
Param means best. Aushadham means medicine. Fasting is the best medicine, but you should know who should fast, how much should you fast, is it ideal for you? It's not all the cattle does the same. This is number one. Number two, let us consider Ekadashi. Hinduism promotes Ekadashi. Ekadashi means 11th day of moon, you fast. Yeah. Amazing health benefits. Christianity promotes Lent.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You give a break from all that high protein non-veg food for 40 days plus. Amazing health benefits. Islam promotes Ramadan, which is again fasting for a month in a year. But what we miss is, say, a guy who is doing Ekadashi fasting breaks it. He is waiting for that 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock
and
to happen.
Quickly eats lots of food.
And eat so much oily, deep fried and lot of food, not chewing it well, literally like jumping on the food. This is causing a reverse action. If you follow that principles which your religion has given you wisely, it's really going to help the fasting. But who should fast? How much should fast? Intermittent, huge researches are happening on autophagy, which is you fast for 16 hours in a day. From the 15th hour, your body gets into autophagy. So which is your own good cells eat up your retired or damaged cells, which helps in weight loss, cancers, everything. Again, now the social media, the world is so fast, you have access to everything. This is causing a big confusion to the audience. Somebody says intermittent fasting is super good. Immediately you listen to another, maybe an allopath or somebody else. No, that's the worst thing. Now the audience are damn confused what is right, what is wrong. I think that's the problem today's world is
It's
facing.
overwhelming. Too
Overwhelmed.
much information,
Too
excess
much
information.
information. Now, even a simple turmeric, you say, oh, turmeric is amazing. Suddenly you find an article published somewhere in some Western European country, turmeric damages liver. And it runs in prime time 8 o'clock news. Now, we were eating turmeric the day we were born, our generations together. My grandmother lived 100 years. What did turmeric do to her? What did coconut oil do to her? I think it's also a part of the game. I don't want to talk much more than that.
But also, the one thing that's so clear from our conversation, just based even on our conversation today, not even previous Ayurvedic experiences that I've had, is that it's incredibly personalized.
That's the word.
And people, today everyone's talking about personalized medicine and you need to do all these tests. But I guess Ayurveda for 5,000 years has been doing these tests. They've been using these diagnostic tools. And it's about you and what works for your body. And it may not work for someone else's body.
Very well said. Very, very well said. If you and your husband come to the clinic with fever, same viral fever, your medicine and his medicine will be different.
So, Dr. Uppoor, I have a quick rapid fire round for you. But before that, anything you want to say to the audience listening in?
I would want to bring them up, which was not a part of your questions, but I would want to bring them up a simple thing called as the Ayurveda Clock.
Okay.
Beautiful Ayurveda Clock. So let us divide the day into 6. Yeah, 6 4s are 24 hours.
Okay.
So 10 in the night, listen very carefully, the audience, 10 in the night to 2 in the morning is Pitta time, Pitta clock. 10 in the night to 2 a.m. in the morning. This is the time you must, at any cost, be sleeping for your liver to be super good. Now, you would see, even in my childhood, hearing liver stories was very rare. Now, every second guy, third guy, fatty liver problems. Fatty liver is a small thing, big, huge liver issues these days. For that, one must be sleeping from 10 to 2 a.m. You must be in your deep sleep. 2 to 6 a.m. is the time of Vata. So this is the time where you are in a partial sleep. You are still sleeping, but you're there. The 10 to 2 one, you're knocked out. And then by 3:34, wake up. The second half of the Vata time, use it for meditation, yoga, breathing, pranayam, assemble yourself. If you want to study, now this is the advice for students, don't keep awake late night, study in the early morning hours. Amazing time to study. So 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. is the Vata time.
Okay.
Now 6 a.m. to the next 4 hours, 7, 8, 9, 10 is the Kapha time. Kapha Kal. During the Kapha time, bowel evacuations, you take your bath, you slowly relax, get on to your work mode. These are the hours. Now, the West here says have a heavy breakfast. And even in your schools, you would heavy breakfast. Come prepared, have a heavy breakfast. Ayurveda says the breakfast must be very, very, very light. Very light. So have a light breakfast, assemble your energies. Best time to exercise, kapha. So best time to exercise and burn the kapha out. So this is the exercise time. This is the time to have light breakfast, assimilate your energy, evacuations, bowel movements, and get on to the work mode, 10 o'clock. 10 to 2 is the Pitta Kala, Pitta time, Pitta Kal, Pitta time. 10 to 2 when your Pitta is at its peak, listen very carefully, this is the time where you should have your biggest meal.
Which is lunch.
Which
so
is
lunch
lunch
should be your
the
biggest meal.
biggest, heaviest. If you want to consume any carbs, this is the time. And this is the time of preparations, getting into work and all that. But very interestingly, 2 to 6 p.m., I'm talking about the afternoon, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., again back to Vata. Vata time. So the clock is
The clock
3 into
starts again. Okay.
Started again at 10 for the Pitta. 10 p.m. was Pitta, and now 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. was again Pitta. Second time Pitta came. Now Vata is coming from 2 to 6 p.m. This is the time the Ayurveda book says is the most productive time. Your
For work.
mind for work, most productive time.
2 to
This is when
6 p.m.
most of the people are taking a nap and wasting this time. So you need to be very active, work, you gather some nice fantastic thoughts during this time. 6 to 10 again is Kapha, the unwinding time, the relaxing time, yourself, your time, me time. Again in the Kapha one should eat very light.
Right.
We are going to these dinners, buffets, and having a heavy dinner, which is again the main reason for a lot of health issues. So heavy lunch, very light dinner,
And
very
light
light
breakfast.
breakfast
So
is what
that middle meal should be heavy. So any kind of sugar you want to eat,
Afternoon.
eat in the middle
Yeah,
meal.
100%. Though when the books were written, there was no white sugar, but any carbohydrate, your jaggery, your maple syrup, your date, you want to eat dates, whatever. This type of carbohydrates and sugars, eat them between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So that was a very interesting point again that you're making. The whole world is saying give up sugar, don't have any sugar. They're talking about all sugars, that it's the worst thing, that give up sugar. Ayurveda says that have a little bit of natural sugars, correct?
Totally disagreed with the concept of giving up sugars. You'll go crazy. You'll not sleep. You may have a thin, lean body, but mentally you will be at absolute no peace. But what is the problem is white sugar.
Right.
But
right.
a sugar in moderation that is coming from a date,
Right.
that coming from a fruit, that is coming from jaggery, most welcome.
Okay.
Is
I
most
like
welcome
that.
in moderation.
That's why I stick to Ayurveda. I like that. Yeah. So I'm going to very quickly ask you some questions. One Ayurvedic herb everyone should know about for longevity.
I think we have covered it a little bit.
Yes.
Let us talk about methi.
Methi. So you're saying
Fenugreek seeds.
fenugreek seeds. Okay. The biggest myth about Ayurveda and aging.
Ayurveda is a slow medicine, and Ayurveda is all about popping pills. This is the biggest myth. Ayurveda is a lifestyle.
One morning ritual that you never skip.
Having my methi seeds in the morning.
Fantastic.
Without that, all our family don't stop.
A food that surprisingly accelerates aging.
Accelerates aging. The food that is inflammatory for your body type.
And
It's a wonderful statement. The food that is
That's inflammatory.
inflammatory for your body type accelerates your aging process.
so it could be any food. It could be different for different
It can be
people.
gluten for you, dairy for somebody, or millet for somebody.
So personalized medicine again. One Ayurvedic principle you wish the whole world would follow.
Dinacharya, the daily routine.
Before we go, the daily routine is this when you talked about these
So
the
many
cycle,
rituals you
yes.
follow. The clock.
The cycles,
The
the clock. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for this
Thanks, Anshuji.
amazing chat.
Thank you. It was amazing, and your questions were very, very good. I really enjoyed being here. The questions were so good for one reason, because you yourself experienced Ayurveda.
I did. These 12 days has been incredible. I'm coming back. But I think after doing Ayurveda, now I realize that this actually is so healing. It's not something that's temporary.
Exactly. And not something which is immediate fix.
Yeah.
I don't have a magic injection that can help you tomorrow. It's like change your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Get there slowly. Have patience. It's like any relationship. You need to work on it. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Thanks a lot. God bless.
Thank you. And thank you for managing to do this today, even though you have a journey to make. What I love about today's conversation was that Ayurveda is so personalized that it teaches you how to age gracefully. And there is a system for everything, but it's very simple. It's actually a way of life. It's not simple if you're staying up and partying all night. But if you go back to a simple lifestyle, then you can accommodate it very easily into your life. There's lots of different schools of thought. There's lots of different philosophies all over the world. And you choose what works best for you. What I love about Ayurveda is that when you follow it, it's actually a very healing system, and It heals you inside out. And the promise is that as long as you live, you're going to be healthy. Thank you for being part of this conversation. If you enjoyed it, please share it with someone who needs it. Please subscribe to this page and do leave us a comment so that we can get you better and better speakers and have deeper conversations. This is Anshu Bahanda from Wellness Curated, and you were listening to the Wellness Algorithm.